Welcome back. Now that you have some teachers and coordinators on your site, you only need to populate your YAP site with some students. So let's get started on the YAP website.
Teachers can add students to their school starting at the main page. You can do this by first clicking on Manage and going directly to Students in the top menu, or you can click on the Manage button here and then click on View and Manage Students. Here I'm logged in as a teacher at this school, so I can see a full list of the students who are enrolled in the program. Here I can click on a specific student and I can see the surveys that they have completed. It looks like Ethan hasn't completed any surveys, or I can edit Ethan's information. Here I can click on this little eyeball and I can see Ethan's password. And this can be helpful if Ethan gets locked out of the system. You can go in and change the password for him or check on his password to help him get logged in. You can also change any of his other information here. Here on this students page, we can also add students individually using the Add button, or we can import a list of students. If you're a coordinator, you're probably going to want to import all of the students from the classes that will be participating at your school. This is the quickest way to do it. Or if individual teachers are going to be importing their own class lists, they can import a single class list here as well. So this is the quickest way, and we'll start with it. Click on that Import button. And here you'll want to make sure that the data type is students, that your program is selected. You'll probably be selecting active schools, and that your school is selected. From there, you'll import your file. And the file that you'll import is one of these templates that you'll use. You can download an Excel template to fill out or a CSV file. So I'm going to go ahead and download the Excel file. And I've got that file ready here to look at. So here's my file. You can see that you're going to add first name, last name, email address, grade, class name, student ID, and gender.
There are a few other things that you may want to note. Be sure to double check that you have the correct names and email addresses of all students before you upload your list, and also make sure that you follow the same format for every student ID. In this example, we've used the student's first initial, a period, and their full last name. Finally, under gender, please note that you do not need to share the student's gender if you do not wish to. You can see here that I have left some fields blank, and I'm doing that to show you what will happen if you do this on your own uploaded class list.
So I've got my list, and I'm going to go ahead and click Choose File, and I'm going to import that list. Click Upload here once you find your file, and click on Import.
If you're seeing red at this point, it means that there are some errors in your uploaded class list. You can discover these issues by hovering over a student row and reading the little tags that pop up with a list of issues.
So here, we can see that we don't have a last name for Joe here, and we don't have a student ID. Here, we've forgotten to include the class name, or perhaps, if you've already got a class name set up, you want to make sure you use that format for future additions. We don't have an email address here, and in this last row, you'll see that the email address is incomplete. So all of those things are going to cause problems for us. I would say that we want to go ahead and click Cancel and fix those problems. So now I've gone back out and I have fixed my list. I've already prepared that, so I'm going to click Choose File again, and I'm going to try it one more time. And click Import. And all right, it looks like everything is correct here. And you can see that you're going to want to use, if you want gender recorded, just M for male, F for female, U for undisclosed. So that'll record those properly. If you actually write out male or female, it will record them all as undisclosed. So go ahead and click Confirm and Import Students. And here you see that there are no students listed as not saved, so they are all imported into the system successfully. That's great. We can go ahead and click Done. Now, if you find that you had a single student who did not get imported, or maybe later on another student joins your class and you want to add them, you can go ahead and click on this Add button here, and you can add a student individually. So let's select our program, our school, our class. You can start typing the name of the class in order to find it more quickly. So I'm going to click on Ms. Fitnesse's class and student name. Here you'll enter an email address. We'll have that email there. But let's say that at your school you have a policy you don't want to be including student email addresses for privacy reasons. Instead, you want to rely on a unique username. So you might be sure to notify the YAP team that you do not want to use email addresses. Click this button here. You will select a grade and a student ID, and you'll select a gender, or you can select not listed or prefer not to answer. And you'll see that you'll have an auto-generated password here, but you can change it to whatever you want. And then you'll click Save. Oh boy, okay, so this is a problem for you, and I wanted to show you that if you put in an email address, though you already clicked on Generate a Unique Username, you will get an error. So what you need to do there is, if you are going to use unique usernames, you need to leave the space blank, even though it has this little star that tells you you need to put a value there. So this replaces that value. It's important to remember that students will only be able to log in with a username if you select this option. They will not be able to use an email address to log in. You will not be able to contact them via email. Okay, so let's click Save, and your student was saved successfully. Now, sometimes you will have a message that says you don't have access to this area. Do not worry about that. If you do have this message that says the student was saved successfully, then indeed they were. So let's go back to Students and click on Ms. Fitnesse's class. Here we can click on Students and see her class list. And it looks like our new student, Jackie Johnson, is right there. She has been added. So that's great. There you have it. That is how to add students to your YAP site.
And you're ready to go on to the next step, helping students log on to the site for the first time so that they can use the YAP.